Somewhere along the lines, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant became players that are quote unquote hard to coach and a head coach's worst nightmare. We're talking about two of the best scorers in the NBA today. Not just two of the best scorers, but one of these guys in Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers to ever play the game of basketball. Essentially a 7-foot wing / guard that is absurdly good not only on the offensive end of the floor, but a very talented defender that uses their length to their full advantage. And then you have another guy you can make an argument for being a top scorer to ever play and one of the most creative players ever. Look, I'm not saying Kyrie is one of the top scorers to ever play the game of basketball, but when you watch this guy play, you can't tell me the talent is not there. Throughout this past Nets season, a lot of people thought they were better without Kyrie Irving. Give me a break. There were a lot of rumblings that Kyrie got Kenny Atkinson fired, when the truth is, Atkinson had been rubbing a few players the wrong way for a while now. Vaughn fills in and does a fantastic job. That left us wondering who the next official head coach of the Nets would be, especially with Vaughn making the decision so tough. Before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video. And that's facts. Tonight we will be streaming NBA 2K21 early, so be sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/GetLikeCoop. Come through, talk basketball, or really just chill. Show your support, guys. It would be much appreciated. Lastly, guys, if you could do me a giant favor and drop a like on this video. Dropping a like tells the YouTube algorithm you guys are messing with the content, and it helps me grow. So today the Nets would go on to hire Steve Nash as their next head coach. A decision that shocked many, including myself. There were a lot of great candidates out there, and Steve Nash is somebody that I'm sure wasn't on a lot of people's radar. Now, the Steve Nash hiring rubs a lot of people the wrong way, essentially, because Steve Nash had no prior head coaching experience. And a lot of people feel that Nash might not be the most qualified candidate for the job. Now, throughout time, we've learned, well, as you get older, you learn that the most qualified person always doesn't get the job. A lot of times, it's about connections, it's about who you know, it's the unfortunate way of the world. Well, you see, a few years ago, Steve Nash helped to develop KD's already elite game and served as a mentor for Durant. Look, I get why people are mad. There's multiple reasons to be mad. It's a superstars league. It's been that way for some time. We've seen star players get what they want and the coaches they want for quite some time. I'm not saying Steve Nash was a coach that was wanted by Kevin Durant, but I'm saying the writing is pretty much on the wall. The Nets are a team that knows they have to make their next move their best move, or at least a move that pleases their star players. Now, Nash is one of the most high IQ guards I've ever seen play the game of basketball, and he was the quarterback for a D'Antoni offense that helped to evolve the game as we know it. Now look, I'm not sure how exactly I feel about this hiring, but I get the vision from the Brooklyn Nets. And that D'Antoni offense, that's nothing to play with. You could point to Gentry and some of his shortcomings as a coach, but for the most part, Gentry has always had at least a salvageable offense. And there's one thing about player coaches that I really like. It's that they're typically really good with star players. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, these are two stars that may not need the most coaching. Again, I know the Nets were linked to Pop and some other high-profile coaches, but at the very least, this should be interesting. And I have to say, I would have loved to see the Brooklyn Nets with Pop. Are you kidding me? Now, I'm starting to see the Nets are a team that is somewhat unpredictable. Who expected the firing of Kenny Atkinson? And I'm sure everybody expected Vaughn to get a chance to coach Brooklyn Stars, seeing as he had a team in the bubble playing very competitive basketball, given the roster he was afforded, but he also had the team playing pretty good basketball heading into the hiatus. Now, I hope Caris LeVert is able to further his development, and I hope that Nash does end up being the right coach for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm a big Nash fan, and I have to say, I think if nothing else, he'll be great with player development. I'm pretty sure he was instrumental in working with RJ Barrett. A lot of times, I think the head coach is just the head coach, and I think a lot of the credit for the team goes to the assistant coaches and what they're able to do. So hopefully they get the right assistants around Nash also. So without context, here are a few other coaches who were hired without stints as assistant coaches. We have Doc Rivers, Isaiah Thomas, Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, and also Jason Kidd. I have to say, I would love Chris Paul coaching the Pelicans in the future. Let me know what you think about this hire. It's like the NBA, there's never a dull moment. Now I'm seeing that Tyron Lue is on pace to become the next 76ers head coach. I have to say, I didn't really want Tyron Lue for my New Orleans Pelicans, but for the 76ers, I think he makes sense. This is crazy. I'm not a Tyron Lue guy, but watching Kevin Love, listening to Kevin Love describe him, I have to say, I think he could be a coach that helps get this 76ers team to the next level. I think he's going to be a no-nonsense type of guy. If you can coach LeBron, in my opinion, I think you can coach just about anybody, because LeBron, one of the best players in the game, but he's also a demanding personality, even though he is open with coaches, I believe. I think Tyron Lue for Philadelphia is going to be great. Don't be surprised. I mean, it can't get any worse, can it? Like, don't be surprised if you see Ben Simmons start shooting threes. Now, of course, that's just me going off of how aggressive I think Tyron Lue is going to take this. And this is a guy with a championship. He knows what it takes to win in the playoffs. And he had the Cavs playing some really good, solid defense when it came to playoff time, especially given the personnel that these Cavs teams have had over the years. So, especially under Tyron Lue, I think this is going to be an interesting hire for the 76ers, if nothing else. And again, not only do I hope he gets the most out of Ben Simmons, but I hope he's able to keep Joel Embiid there long-term, keep Joel and Ben there long-term. There's actually some trade rumors circulating that I'm going to make a video on very soon involving both of these guys, but I would love nothing more for them to anchor down in Philadelphia and figure things out, because this is a team that was not far away a year ago. You remember the shot? Let me know what you guys think about Lue coaching the 76ers down in the comments below. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. It's incredibly dope. I'm G like Coop, and I am out.